Kelly. How are you?
Hello, so good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, how exciting was it to be back to the Fortress camp?
It was so awesome. Actually, because the whole experience the first time was great. The weather's amazing, like Puerto Rico's amazing. Everybody, cast and crew, like the whole environment was super, super incredible. And so, yeah, I was really excited to be back.
I could not stop staring at your abs. I'm probably in the group like most men are just like at wow. How much training did you do beforehand? And I'm sure you had technique training too because you were a badass.
Yeah, so I actually kind of live competition ready every day of my life because I do a bunch of fitness oriented, either modeling or actually sculpting. I work with a world famous sculptor who's an amazing humanitarian as well. And so I have to keep like sort of competition ready all the time. So I'm always like completely chiseled. So I've sort of made it a lifestyle to stay in shape like that. And sometimes people are like, oh man, it'd be so nice. And I'm like, you know what? Just enjoy living because it's a lot. You want to just enjoy life sometimes. But so yes, and then the specific training for that role, that was a lot of fun because it went from just, the normal keeping in shape to specifics. And when you're doing stunts and choreography, it has to be so incredibly on point because there's so much room for injury. And if you hit, half an inch in the wrong place, you can really injure somebody. So it makes it super exciting. And it kind of puts a lot on the line. You have to be really, really precise as well as incredibly intense athletically. And yeah, it's exciting.
Did you have a stunt double for any of those scenes?
No, I
How
don't ever have a
about you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always like, you can't double me. I'm doing it all. And so my best friend, as soon as I get to set, I always get the stunt coordinator's number. Stunts, by the way, they're the unsung heroes. They're such a great group. I love working with stunts. But stunt coordinator on this project role was so great. And I would just bug him every chance I got. I was like, hey, I have a break. Are you free? Can you work with me? And so that way I could have all the choreography, honed and done and ready and be on point because it was a pretty intense shoot and really, really fast. So yeah, it was all me.
How long does it averagely take to film like a fight scene? There was the one where you're fighting with the guy with the longer hair. That was a pretty intense scene. How long does it usually take to shoot something like that?
So it's supposed to take a long time. It's supposed to take a long time, but all of this with all the new health protocols and all these things, they were trying to get so much filming done in such short periods of time because if anything went wrong, it's just shut down for weeks with just all these different quarantines. And it was a lot, honestly. And so you have very, very small windows, which is why I was like, I have to be on point. Like I have to be so good at what I'm doing. And so we filmed that entire scene. I think I did 3 or 4 takes and I just did it like perfectly every time. Like it was crazy. So yeah, it was pretty fast and furious.
I wasn't wrong when you're a total badass, also in real life. So what was it?
I've always been happy. Sorry.
No. So what was it like working with the new director for this film? We have Josh Sternfeld this time.
Josh was amazing. I just, as a person, he's super awesome. And he dealt with just all of the dynamics and the, just intense shooting schedule and all of that with just so much. Just he did a great job. I was really, really impressed. Kept us cool. Was smart and worked with all the different dynamics and people. And there's just a lot that goes into it. And when you watch a director, you can see a lot about their character. And I think he really shined.
Can you talk a little bit about the scene where you're pretty much like cuffed to a chair?
Yeah. That was a lot. It was kind of intense. And it's kind of, you're definitely sort of kind of method in that it's just sweaty and hot and like Puerto Rico is kind of that way. And then I like to actually feel, a little bit like I like to be a little bit uncomfortable because it just makes me more authentic in that moment. And so it was not comfortable, but it was intense. And Adam, the guy who was the bad guy in that scene, did an incredible job. Just to kind of feel that, and Sedaris, both of them. Incredible actors, just really, really great people. And I think it definitely brought a lot of, intrigue and intensity to the film.
What challenges that would took place during film? One that I thought must have been a little painful was the scene in the creek.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, actually, that's very insightful. So doing stunts, I only had on, shorts and like a crop top or like a sports bra. And so there was no room for any body armor, gear, pads, anything. And all the guys, they're in SWAT gear. So they have, like body armor, gator backs, like padding inside their clothing. And I had literally not a single space for anything. I just had skin and concrete. And so, yes, I was bleeding in multiple places. I had bruises all over. It was intense, but lots of fun. I mean, I've always been an athlete, and I was always, kind of a tomboy and the one who was playing football with all the boys in the neighborhood growing up, And so I've kind of done a lot of rough and tumble, but yeah, it kind of next leveled for a second, and it started raining, and everything was slippery, and it was intense, but I love it.
I hope that was towards the end of filming.
No. I mean, kind of maybe mid, probably 2/3 of the way through, because nothing's filmed in sequence, which was also interesting because I was playing a double agent, which was a lot of fun. I think I love so much about film where you get to live multiple lives in one, right? And then this one, I was like two different people, too. So it was even more complex and like a really fun adventure. And so since it's not filmed in sequence, you kind of get to set and you're like, okay, who am I today? Where am I in the script? And you have to be kind of authentically wherever you are in the script and kind of remember what that place is. So yeah, it's fun.
Good question. I'm sure you're getting asked about Bruce Willis, but what are you taking away from getting that opportunity to work with him?
I think, the biggest takeaway, well, first off, realizing now in retrospect that it's, his last project or one of his last films, it just makes it that much more of a privilege, like I totally enjoyed being there and being on set and working with him and learning from him. And he had a really amazing team around him. But I think even more is just, realizing like, wow, that was, like a real privilege, even more so since it's one of his last. I think him as a person, though, it was such a gift to get to know someone who has, so much notoriety. He's famous. He's been in the industry for so long. Such a professional, has done incredible work. And then to just get to know him as a person and see him as just a really, truly beautiful, genuine soul who, cared about everybody off camera, right? Just the interaction and just fun and camaraderie and, great conversations off camera. I think it was a gift to watch and to be kind of inspiring to, it's how I would want to be anyway, but it was just neat to see somebody, at that level who was so down to earth and caring as a person.
Is there something you can share that we'll be seeing you in besides The Fortress Sniper's Eye?
I'm actually speaking with a couple of production companies currently, but I can't say what those are. So hopefully a couple action films coming up. We'll see. It's in this industry. It's never anything till you're actually on set. But if you follow me on Instagram, I'll kind of keep you updated there. It's Kelly Greyson live, and it's Greyson with an EY. AY always goes to the wrong place. Anyway, and then I've been working on. I have a humanitarian kind of project that's super close to my heart that I've been working on for a while. So working on getting some of that out. And I like to highlight heroes, like tell the stories of people who change the world invisibly, right? They do the right thing when no one's looking. They love because it's the right thing to do, not because, they have the spotlight. And so it's been an incredible privilege for me to be able to travel the world and find so many of these people, indigenous organizations who are just loving invisibly and changing lives. And so yeah, I'm working on that as well.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's always good to learn more about. And thank you so much, and congratulations. It was nice to speak with you.
Well, thank you so much for your time.